Today we're going to discuss the one thing you need to do if you want to get in shape. So you may have seen people before that they've been exercising for years, doing a program, they've been consistent, but they may not seem like they're in the best shape, even though they've been doing it for months, even years. Then you have other people that you may have seen and they're, training, and 6 months later, they look like a different person. A year later, they're a totally different person. 2 years later, they look like a model. What's the difference? So I've been in the training space, a fitness trainer for nearly a decade now. And sometimes people get caught up over like, what's the best training program? Is it CrossFit? Is it like a bro split, like lifting weights? Is it calisthenics? Is it, a bunch more cardio? What is the best program to get in shape? And it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters if you're gonna have like a specific, goal, like you're trying like a triathlon or you're an athlete or something like that, then it kind of more matters. But if you're just trying to get in shape, you're gonna see results with any of these programs. But the one thing you cannot escape if you want to get in shape is this principle. And I wrote it out to explain it here. So here's what I explain to clients and to students is you have basically three different zones. You have your comfort zone, you have your growth zone, and you have your injury zone. The one thing you need to do if you want to get in shape, and this applies to any program, is you have to get out of your comfort zone. And you think, oh yeah, of course. Let me explain so you see what I'm saying, because all of us, we don't like being in that space. We don't like being in this space, which is why few people have that quick transformation and a year later look like a different person, right? If it was easy, everybody would do it. So the comfort zone is, I'll take, and by the way, this applies to kind of almost every habit in life, but I'll take push-ups, for example. So push-ups, let's say you can do 20 push-ups and you can crank them out, pretty decent pace. If you only do 20 push-ups per day or per set, you're still in the comfort zone, right? Now, if you jump up and go crazy and just get inspired and like, I'm gonna do 500 one day, you might get injured, right? You're gonna be super sore, you might strain a muscle. Calisthenics is sometimes a little hard to get injured, but let's say, bench press, if you're only benching 135 pounds to begin, and that's okay, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna jump on there and hit 400 today, you're probably gonna tear something, right? But the growth zone is where you start going from your 20 push-ups or your 135 pound bench. Now you start pushing beyond that. You do 25, you do 30 push-ups. And here's some signs of how you know you're in the growth zone, right? I'll tell this to clients, and it applies to me too, even though I've been training for over 15 years. Growth zone is when your brain starts to make excuses and starts to come up with reasons as to why you should quit, right? The growth zone is just like, hey, Christian, or the trainer's not watching, or, I think I'm good, or, oh, it's starting to burn, or, it's not that serious. It's not that deep, right? Your growth zone, when you know you're there, how you know you're there is your brain starts coming up with these excuses. It starts coming up with, no, I think, I don't want to tear something today, or no, I think 20 is good, or I got a nice pump. And the one thing you need to do to get in shape, whether you pick CrossFit or calisthenics or cardio, is you have to get out of the comfort zone. Like I've seen this time and time again, and so many people will stick to the gym. And I see it all the time. Like people will do a program and they'll just stay in the comfort zone. They go to the gym or wherever and they get a pump and they're like, oh yeah, I feel good. Let me go reward myself. And then they wonder why 6 months down the line, or even a year or years down the line, they're in the same shape. Versus you have somebody else that might be going for 6 months crazy, but every set, they're always pushing. They're always getting out of their comfort zone, right? They're not running. If a mile is easy, they're gonna push a mile and a half, 2 miles. If they're swimming 20 laps, they're gonna push 22. They're gonna push 23. The crazy thing is, it's those last few reps that actually count. Like if you're doing the 20 push-up, back to that example, the first 20 push-ups, they don't really do anything for your body. They just kind of, prime you to what you're already used to doing. It's the last 1, 2, 3, 4 reps that you push beyond the discomfort of, this sucks. I'm in pain. I don't want to push. And your mind overrides the pain in your body to say, keep going. That consistently done is what gets you results. And so again, I'm not saying go crazy and get injured, but this growth zone, this is the key to getting in shape, is if you train yourself that I am not going to run away from this burn. I'm not going to run away from this discomfort. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to push through it. You do that consistently, I guarantee you, whatever program you pick, you're going to see results faster than anything you've ever seen before. But it is uncomfortable, which is why we don't like to do it. I don't like to do it. But this is what gets people results. It's this one thing. If you can accustom yourself to pushing beyond discomfort in whatever you do, you're going to see results. And so Again, whatever training program you pick, and this applies to any habit in life too, is, human beings, we don't like discomfort, but the way the body works, our physiology is the body adapts to stress. That's literally, without getting too sciencey, is how the body works. Is the body's always trying to keep a stable environment. It doesn't like stress, doesn't like change. And so that's literally what weightlifting and muscle building is you are manipulating stress to cause a result. You cause your body to develop in a certain way. And so, which is why if you start off your first 3 months lifting a weight, you're going to do a lot more later. All that to say is the body tries to run away from stress. But if you can accustom yourself to, I'm going to stay in this stress and I'm going to push beyond it, that's when your body's going to start to grow. And which is why I, enjoy not just training myself, but training other people, is the character development that you see as a result of that. Because again, this is not easy to stay there and to push beyond discomfort, but how it impacts your body in the physical development is amazing. And then even more amazing is how it impacts your mind, that we don't run away from challenges. Like, live in a world, again, myself included, as human nature, where we don't like pain, we don't like discomfort. This happens to everything. Relationship, a job, career, school, friends. Like, anytime things are uncomfortable, and we live in a society where it's pushing more and more comfort, everything is to be comfortable. And it's fine to chill sometimes, but again, what happens in the body is a manifestation of what happens in our mind and in life. When you stay comfortable, when you stay here, you do not grow. And so there's a balance between, pushing and going crazy and getting injured or, destroying yourself. But if you can keep yourself consistently in the growth zone, if you can push beyond it, if you can say, I'm staying here, even when your brain is telling you like, no, this feels uncomfortable. This is not normal. I don't feel good, right? If you can train yourself to stay in that place, you will grow in character, in your physiology, and in whatever endeavor you have. So just want to encourage you, if you have started a training program, if you've been training like myself for years, don't be content, because that's just going to shift for you. You might be benching 100, 200, 300 pounds, might be doing 20, 40, 60 push-ups, whatever. But if you want to keep going beyond, if you do not want to plateau, you have to keep pushing into this growth zone. So the one thing you need to do to get in shape and to see results quickly is stay in the growth zone. It's uncomfortable, it's annoying, it's but if you stay in there and you can push beyond it and train your mind to stick and to push beyond the pain, you will see results. Till next time, God bless you.